Dr. Dre just sold all his music for $210 million. Why is everyone selling their catalog? What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Okay, Dr. Dre just sold his catalog, and Drake already sold his catalog last year for $400 million. I want to talk about this. So let's get into Dr. Dre first. Dr. Dre sold his catalog assets to Universal Music and Shamrock Holdings in a $200 million plus deal. This article is on Variety. Dr. Dre is selling a collection of music income streams and other assets in a deal that was being pitched for $250 million. The assets, which generate nearly $10 million annually, pay attention. Dr. Dre music makes $10 million a year, are being acquired by Shamrock Holdings and Universal Music Group in two separate transactions. The deals, which have been rumored for several weeks, are said to have nearly closed and were shopped by Dre's longtime attorney, Peter Paterno. Reps for the firm, Dre, Universal, and Shamrock have declined and did not respond to requests for a comment. The assets were said to include artist royalties from two of his solo albums and his share of NWA artist royalties, his producer royalties, and the writer's share of his song catalog where he doesn't own publishing, which may include songs from the 1993 blockbuster album The Chronic. According to Billboard sources, that portion includes 75% to 90% of the package's revenue and is likely being acquired by Shamrock, which owns some of Taylor Swift's master recordings, with UMG acquiring the remaining 10 to 25%. Including in the UMG's acquisition would be the master recording of The Chronic, which is scheduled to revert to Dre from Death Row, which recently was acquired by Dre's protege Snoop Dogg last year. Ooh, it sounds like Snoop bought Death Row and reverted that stuff back to Dre. What a look. What a look. Wow. Okay, let's keep it moving. That's his man right there. That's something you do for your man. Because Snoop could have kept that and ate off that. He reverted it back to Dre. That's good looking out. You get a lot of credit for that, Snoop. Aftermath Interscope joint venture, top dog label for Kendrick Lamar releases through that deal, and possibly some other assets. It does not include his ownership stake in the Aftermath label, which he co-owns with his longtime label home UMG's Interscope Records. So he didn't sell none of the Interscope stuff. None of the stuff that's on Aftermath. So let's talk about this. This sounds like he only sold, well, no, I ain't gonna say only, but it sounds like all of the NWA stuff, all of the stuff on The Chronic, all of the Death Row stuff. So without Snoop giving him that look, he wouldn't have been able to sell this stuff. But it's reverting back to him, and he's going to sell it rather than deal with it, right? But this is crazy. It says that 75 to 90% of the package is going to Shamrock and 10 is going to UMG. They eating like crazy off this. So let me just I want to discuss what's going on. Dre tried to sell it for $250. They didn't bite. They bid it. They took it for something like anywhere between $200 million and $220, something of that nature. But in any event, that's a big, large chunk of money for music that's only doing $10 million a year. So let's talk about that. Why would a company acquire something that's only doing $10 million a year? Why would they pay $200 million for that? You ever see those commercials on TV that go, I have an annuity and I need cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now. So what they do is they'll take your payment and give you a lump sum. It's not going to be exactly what you get or whatever, but that means that they collect that money for years and years. They can sit on that, right? It's money in the bank to them. That's going to be long-term money. So this right here is money in the bank long-term. It's not like a guesswork. It's guaranteed that they're going to get $10 million a year off of this. Not to mention the other things they can do. They can license it. They can put it in commercial. They can do whatever. They can generate revenue off of this all kind of ways, right? But my whole thing is, and I told you earlier in the video that Drake sold his. It says Drake sold everything, everything, the videos, the music, everything he wrote, everything for 400 million. It was the biggest. It was the biggest selling in music history. The question is, why are these artists selling their catalogs? Why are they getting rid of this music when we were drilled? It was drilled into our head. Own your masters. Own your masters. Why? So you can sell them? It was always drilled into our head that if you didn't own your masters, you didn't own nothing, right? And I'm not saying not to own your masters. That's the last thing I'm saying. What I'm saying is, why are we being drilled to own our masters only to just get a big payout and give away our music that we supposedly blood, sweat, and tears for? I'm going to tell you my opinion, why I think that they're selling them. The streaming isn't paying like they say it was, right? Yeah, he's making 10 million, but first of all, everybody's not making 10 million. And second of all, 10 million is slow money for Dr. Dre. Right? That's slow money. When they can get a big bag all at once, $200 million is a whole lot different than waiting. What's that? 20 years? He might be dead in 20 years. So he's not trying to wait 20 years to get the 200 million, which is going to be picked at and ate at over those years. He get the lump sum now, and he can go about his business. Now he doesn't own the music anymore, and I don't know how that works with him doing shows with it, if he even wants to do a show or whatever, but he doesn't own it anymore. And I don't know if he cares or what have you, and what say so he has when it comes to if they can take every single song and give the beats out to new people, what they can do whatever they want. I don't know. But I do know that there is a mass exodus of artists. I believe I read that Bruce Springsteen. I believe I read that Peter Frampton, like a bunch of big name rock stars who have been on the forefront of music history for years, right? And they have not held onto their catalog. Taylor Swift, quite a few, Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake, quite a few people. Not to mention RZA of the Wu-Tang, and I believe I read was it 2 Chainz? I don't remember. It's so many of them, right? There was a lot of people. There's a lot of people. If you just research, there's a lot of rappers, singers, rock stars selling their music. I believe David Bowie's catalog got sold and Prince. So you ask yourself why. When they revere this music, they with the iron fist, they won't let you use it in commercials, and they deny you samples. You can't sample that. When these stars went years being so protective of this music at any cost, it's not like it's not making any money. Why are they selling it? I believe that it's coming. I believe that they're devaluing music. We are devaluing music. We're expecting to get it for free or nothing. God forbid you got to pay for a CD. God forbid. The only way you're paying for a CD is if you really love that artist and you really want to support that artist. You're not buying CDs on a regular. It's just not happening. You're not doing that. So you're not going to sell $18.99 for a CD anymore. So the music that was worth something 20 years ago is not worth that exact amount anymore. It's like devalued. And I think a lot of these guys are understanding that. RZA was the biggest proponent of owning your masters, and then he went and sold his portion of the Wu-Tang stuff. I feel like the music is becoming oversaturated with so much stuff. You can't make the profit you once made. The payouts are very low now. So they're like, rather than sit there and wait 20 years, I can get it off on some financial company, right? Because these financial companies, they need things to buy. They need things to invest in. There's guys that sit around all day trying to figure out what to spend millions of dollars on. That's their entire job, is to go find something to spend money on. Imagine a job. The job is so weird. Your whole day is, let me find something that I can dump 10 million in. That's going to make money for my company in the long term. They're dying to give this money away. They're dying to spend it. And music catalogs are becoming that thing because they are consistent. They're going to hold value, but not fast enough value for the rapper or the artist. I'm sorry. And I think we're going to see a lot more, like with Drake. When he sold that for $400 million, Drake could sit around and wait to make he's going to make that off that anyway. But how old does he want to be? Does he want to be 63? Just starting to get that bag that he's talking about? You know what I'm saying? So And you can make 400 million, make more money for you in so many ways. So it's a million ways to do it, but it's just about the personal aspect. Giving away the Chronic, you're giving away Doggy Style and whatever else you're giving away on that label. You're giving away NWA. You're giving away 100 Miles and Running. You're giving it away to somebody called Shamrock Holdings, and God knows what they're going to do with it, right? These are the things where we try to figure out where the music is going to end up. Our beloved music that gave our childhood, whatever. Hopefully, God forbid, they don't start doing these streaming services wars where they started putting, we only want to put this on Tidal, we're going to put this on Apple. Let's not get into that, where they take the music and try to do a Black Star where it is only available on Luminary app and that's it. Like, we don't need none of that. I feel like we're going to start to get people who want their masters only to start selling them. They're going to start looking at music as commodity instead of actual organic living and breathing art. Once it becomes a commodity, it's sold like gold and rubies and diamonds. And they're not looking at it, how does it sound anymore? They're like, how much does it make? How much money can I make off that? And I think that's where, I mean, not saying Dre did the wrong thing or Drake did the wrong thing or any of these other people did the wrong thing. But to a degree, when you start giving these things to, like, I know Death Row was owned by Hasbro Toys at one point, right? It's in the hands of people who are ultimately going to just resell it. And the stuff is getting sold and sold and sold and passed around. If you pay attention to Death Row, I think Death Row passed through 3 or 4 different hands before Snoop got his hands on it. And the music is starting to turn into fast food and candy. And that's why it's starting to sound like it sounds. Because they're trying to figure out how to maximize the sound of it and make the most money off of it real quick and make it a commodity. They're not trying to tickle your emotions. They're not trying to resonate with you really in any kind of way. That's why a lot of it's repetitive. And that's why a lot of it is formulaic. And this is where we get this drill rap and all this nonsense, because kids are gravitating to it and they're going to push whatever to the kids, right? So I don't know what to say about this. I don't think it's a bad idea if you're in it for the money, which clearly Dre and Drake and these other guys are in it for the money. Everybody's in it for the money. Let's be clear. But I feel like a lot of the catalog selling is kind of slap in the face in a way to what we've been told, to own your masters, make sure you own it, and da-da-da, black own this and black own that. And when it becomes anybody with enough money can just own your music, I don't know what to say about that, right? And I really, truly be honest with you, and I'm just going to say this before I end it. I make music, and I can't even imagine in any scenario for any amount of money, right, someone buying and owning all of my music. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I can never see me signing a paper where everything I made, every song I made, every video I made goes over to France or whoever bought it in Germany or wherever they bought it. Now they own it forever. I just can't see it. That's just me. But let me know what you think in the comments about all of these catalogs being sold and all of these records changing hands to people who are not musicians. They have no stake in the music business other than to take it and put it and make it into money. Let me know what you think. CLBMG.com. I'm going to catch you on the flip side. Peace.
CLB.